Welcome to everyone here today listening and looking at this podcast. We're just turning tables just a tiny, tiny bit, and I'm going to ask Carolyn questions. So, Carolyn, welcome to your own podcast.
Thank you so much, Claire. It's a bit odd being on the other side of the coin.
Right. Well, I think we'd all like to know, what do you like doing in your spare time?
Well, that's a very good question, as a lot of previous people have said. Um, but I have lots of interests, so I quite enjoy photography when I'm out and about. I don't
Hmm.
necessarily take my SLR around with me because it's quite a luggy thing to take around, as you well
Yeah.
know, because you enjoy photography too.
Yep.
But the mobile phone is quite a handy gadget. And as we all know, the cameras on mobile phones are really quite good these days.
Yep.
Apart from obviously distance photographs, which is quite a bit more difficult to do with a mobile phone. But generally, I take photographs with the mobile because we've always got them on us. So
Excellent.
yeah,
So,
I tend to use those. But yes.
okay, so go thinking about your photography. Are there subjects which you like to photograph?
Well, like being outside. So, uh, natural history, not very good at people, because I think, I mean, you could take photographs of people, obviously, but then you need to be aware that, depending on where you are and where you're taking photographs of people, there may need to be, permissions to put people on social media. But if you're out and about in a public place, as I believe, you're able to take photographs of people and not have their permission to um, publish the or put it on social media, as it were. So, yes, I think probably natural history and wildlife and that type of thing, rather than studio work. I do enjoy. Yes, and I do help with running a community photographic club at our local Whittam hub in the town once a month. We have quite a few members, and we try and persuade them to come along. And we have a professional photographer who critiques our photographs. So we have a theme every month. So we set a theme. It could be the color blue or sky, water, whatever the theme is. And then we go out, we take 10 best photographs, we pop them up on an album that I create within our group. And then we put the 10 best, and then at the next meeting, we then go through those photographs and the professional photographer critiques them. So we're learning, what we could have done or whether we did it right in the first place or what we could do or just adjust it, those sorts of things. So we're always sort of learning when we do it. So it's really quite useful.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, I think it's brilliant. It's great that you're running the club for the people because I go to the Kirkintilloch Camera Club, and last night we had a studio night, and I've never done a studio shoot before. It's
Oh,
really, really, really interesting. And
mm,
we also have judges who come along and critique pictures in
yeah.
competitions. And frequently the question is, well, the judge said he wanted a duck in that picture. And then he said he didn't want a duck, but I put a duck in and he didn't want the duck. So did he want the duck in the picture or not? You don't know. So how do you find getting someone critiquing your pictures? How do you take it?
Um, well, yeah, you don't take it personally because it's a learning exercise. You're always wanting to better your photographs as well, and I think that yeah, you just take it as creative, constructive criticism, or actually not criticism, because it's anything you see and take a photograph of is your own interpretation. If you need to slightly adjust how you frame something, or you include or don't include, or whatever, there's always that. So Yeah, I don't take it personally because it's an education.
Great. And so when you get your pictures at home, do you use something like Photoshop or Lightroom, or do you leave them as they came out the camera?
Leave them as they came out the camera. Because
Right.
I've never gone down the rabbit hole of because there are so many things you can do to a photograph, and a
Yep.
photograph is a photograph. Okay, yes, it's an interpretation, and yes, some people like to use certain apps, perhaps on their phones, or if they're on their cameras, they might just set it in auto and not bother sort of going in, doing macro or whatever it might be. I mean, there's all sorts of elements to photography, isn't there? I mean,
Yep.
there was somebody on the television the other day, they were doing macro and they were sort of that far away from the thing using a gadget on the end of their phone, on the end of their camera.
Yep.
So there's all sorts of things you can use, and I think you take a photograph because it's a moment in time,
Yes.
and to me, that's a moment in time. Why would you want to change it? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, different people have different views, I guess.
And do you do anything with your pictures, like frame them and put them on the wall?
Now that's a good question. No, they I occasionally look at them when I'm going through the photographs thinking, I've got so many, what do I do with them all? I don't have any more wall space to put any photographs. Why do we take so many photographs and keep them and don't look at them? When we had actual photographs, we could pick the albums up and have a look at them from time to time, but now they're sort of hidden on our devices and on our laptops. We don't really look at them. So we could say, what's the point or what's the purpose of having them? Um, and you don't look at them. I don't know, but no, I don't print
Yeah.
them.
Have you ever thought of maybe taking some of your pictures and getting them printed up into an album so you actually have like a physical picture to have a look at?
Um, yeah, you mean like a book?
Yeah.
Because you can create book. I have done calendars before now as Christmas presents. I've created a do it yourself calendar for people. And I did that for a few years, a number of years ago. Um, and nobody actually said, I don't like it. So I did it for a few years and then didn't do any more. But perhaps I should because I do enjoy it and it would be a way of somebody enjoying what I take. If they don't enjoy it and don't like the picture, well, they don't have to look at it, but it it would be
Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I hadn't thought of putting it in a book, but yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I have found that I have taken pictures from probably when I was yay high to the ground, could hold the camera, and I create a story creating calendar because I like the idea that pictures can be a start for a story.
Story.
So I
Mm.
take my pictures and I put a story question to them. So I use my pictures that way.
That's a great way of
Um,
using them.
yeah, and also I create for myself unique greeting cards. I put my pictures on greeting cards.
Yeah.
So when I'm sending a picture to someone or a card to
Mm.
someone, then they've got my picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
So
idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Well,
Um,
if you do a calendar, I would love to know.
okay. All right. Well, I'll let you know. And of course, there are other things I do enjoy
Yeah,
apart from photography,
right,
and that is gardening. I
right.
love being out in the garden and yes, forgetting to forgetting to put plants I bought to put them in the ground. I think we're all I think we've all done that, haven't we?
Well, we've got sort of a bit of grass in our front of our house with a lot of moss and other
Yes.
assorted plants with a few blades of grass. And I kind of go, well, that's green, that's moss or a grass. And the front garden is very good at DIY tulips and crocuses and daffodils. And we've got lavender, which I always make a point of cutting back because the bees absolutely love it. So
Oh yes,
my
yes.
bit of gardening is cutting back the lavender, just in time for it to grow normally every year. That's it's
Well,
like
at least you cut it back.
yes, yeah.
You
So
can say that, but yes, and I've always quite enjoyed gardening. It doesn't always work out, but it's trial and error, the same as photography is trial and error. And I belong to a local U3A, Whittam U3A, and they have a subgroup, fruit and veg growers. And
wow.
I go along to, we have a monthly meeting, and I have a go. It doesn't always work out. None of my plants worked out this year. Um, but there we go. It's trial and error, expensive trials and error, but trial and error as it is. But we'll sort of continue. Um, and it's
Yeah.
nice to grow things, I think, so we know that what's on it.
Yes, we a couple of years back we grew our own tomatoes. And do you know they are the tastiest tomatoes I have ever
Mm,
eaten. They were just
yeah,
gorgeous,
yeah.
really amazing.
And we know that, things do go on in the commercial world and so on. So, yes, if we're able to, and we've got space to, there's always a way of doing it in a container.
Yeah,
Container veg growing. It's quite big.
yeah.
And
So,
there's a lady I follow on Instagram, and she was
mhm,
showing. I remember seeing one of her little videos that she does, and she's from I think a European country, so she quite enjoys eating. I think it's sardines or something, little fish in a tin, but
yeah.
they're a different tin to the normal um, run-of-the-mill fish. And what she does, she cleans it up, she takes the lid off, and she puts some kitchen paper in the bottom, dampens it, and then sowed seeds on the top. And she grows microgreens.
And what are they?
Microgreens are when you sow the seeds of a plant, but you
Right?
cut them before you sow them on. So you've got seedlings, and they sort
Yes,
of yay high. And
yes.
rather than pinching them out and putting them in a pot for them to grow on to be what they're supposed to be, you just cut them and use them on salads or dressings or as garnish or whatever it might be, because they're quite nutritious. So
It's
yeah,
like
she grows various microgreens.
it's like growing cress. Is that
Yes, yeah, exactly. But different seeds. So you could grow mustard, cress, beetroot, all sorts, and just cut them when they get to sort of about that high. Yeah.
wow, brilliant. So, can tell me what is the best successful flower you've ever grown?
Flower.
Hmm.
Oh, probably probably a miniature buddleia, because it does its own thing. All the others, I mean, it depends on the weather too, because the border that I've got is very much in the sun during the summer,
Yeah.
and I don't have any shade in my garden, so everything bakes. So at the moment, I have a brown border with a one or two. So I've got I think some Michaelmas daisies
Mhm.
that come up at this time of year, and some sedums. That's the only colour I've got in the border. The rest is brown because it got baked in the summer. Yeah, it was quite hot this summer. And I 3 lots of heat wave, and
Yeah.
I just got no shade to stop it. So
Yeah.
I just have to let things die.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the really good thing is that when things die down, you know that all the seeds are just waiting behind the ground just to come out and grow
Yeah.
whenever they next
Mm,
get a chance.
yeah.
Well, Carolyn, I'd like to say thank you very much. I have really interested to learn about microgreens. You've done your own calendar, you help run a camera club, and we'll maybe get another opportunity to find out more about you.
Well, you
Thank
never
you very
know.
much.
This has been quite a revelation being on the other side. Thank you
Thank
very much, Claire, for turning the cards, as it were.
you.